It's been a rough few weeks for Kourtney Kardashian. The 44-year-old reality TV star and businesswoman has seen her carefully curated life start to unravel, and it all started with a terrible accident involving her young son. It was a sunny California afternoon when Kourtney's 10-year-old son Mason Disick darted out into the street while playing in the front yard of the family's Calabasas mansion. Witnesses say the young boy was trying to retrieve a ball when he was struck by an oncoming car. "It was just horrible, absolutely horrifying to see," said the family's longtime neighbor Brenda Watkins. "The car hit him full on, and he went flying. I'll never be able to get that image out of my mind." Emergency responders rushed to the scene and airlifted the unconscious Mason to a nearby trauma center. Kourtney and the rest of the Kardashian-Jenner clan immediately raced to the hospital, where they anxiously awaited news of the young boy's condition. After hours of agonizing uncertainty, doctors delivered the devastating news. Mason had sustained life-threatening injuries, including a traumatic brain injury and multiple broken bones. He was in critical condition, and the next 24 hours would be pivotal in determining his outcome. The family was naturally devastated. Kourtney, who has always been extremely close with her children, was inconsolable. She spent hours at Mason's bedside, holding his hand and praying for him to pull through. But as the days turned into weeks, it became clear that Mason's recovery was going to be an uphill battle. He remained in a coma, hooked up to a ventilator and a feeding tube, with no signs of improvement. The emotional toll on Kourtney was immense. She was racked with guilt, convinced that she should have been watching Mason more closely. She stopped answering calls and texts from friends and family, retreating into a deep depression. "Kourtney is just absolutely destroyed by this," a source close to the family told Us Weekly. "She blames herself, even though it was an accident. She can't stop crying and she's barely eating or sleeping. This has really broken her." The ripple effects of Mason's accident were felt throughout the Kardashian-Jenner empire. Kourtney's various business ventures, including her lifestyle brand Push, ground to a halt as she withdrew from public life. Production on the family's long-running reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, was put on hold indefinitely as Kourtney refused to film. The network executives were reportedly furious, as the show was in the midst of its final season. Kourtney's once flawless public image also took a major hit. Fans and media outlets turned on her, accusing the reality star of being a negligent mother who cared more about her businesses and social media presence than the well-being of her own children. Kourtney has always been the most private and reserved of the Kardashian sisters, said entertainment journalist Perez Hilton. But now, all of that is unraveling. She's being painted as this heartless, self-absorbed woman who couldn't even be bothered to keep an eye on her own son. It's a total PR nightmare. To make matters worse, the accident also put a major strain on Kourtney's relationship with her longtime partner, Scott Disick. The couple, who have had a tumultuous on-and-off relationship over the years, finally called it quits, with Kourtney breaking things off in the midst of the family's crisis. Scott has been incredibly supportive through all of this, but the stress has just taken a huge toll on their relationship, the source told Us Weekly. Kourtney is barely holding it together, and Scott just doesn't know how to help her anymore. They both decided it was best to go their separate ways. As Kourtney grapples with the fallout from Mason's accident and the dissolution of her relationship, she is also facing an uncertain future for her business empire. Without the visibility and publicity that comes with her reality show and high-profile personal life, industry insiders predict that her brands will suffer. Kourtney has built her career and fortune on being this health-conscious, lifestyle influencer figure, said fashion and beauty analyst Chelsea Fagan. But now that her image has been so tarnished, it's going to be really hard for her to maintain that level of success. Her fans and customers are going to start to see her as just another out-of-touch, privileged celebrity who doesn't really care about anyone but herself. For now, Kourtney remains holed up at the family's compound, her focus solely on Mason's recovery. But as the young boy continues to fight for his life, the once unstoppable Kardashian juggernaut seems to be crumbling from the inside out. "This is just a heartbreaking situation all around," said Watkins, the family's neighbor. "You can't help but feel for Kourtney and her whole family. But at the same time, you have to wonder if this is the beginning of the end for the Kardashian empire. Only time will tell."